Ethos of Silence.
A veteran podcast aims to amplify the voices of veterans, creating a safe space for authentic conversations about their experiences, challenges, and triumphs. We seek to break the stigma surrounding mental health and foster community support, resilience, and understanding. Through storytelling, expert insights, and candid discussions, we strive to inspire healing, promote awareness, and empower veterans on their journeys.
Welcome. So, Ethos of Silence, we were jumping into the third phase, but you said we skipped something pretty devastating, and it's probably because I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, I don't really want to think about it either. It brings back bad memories.
Anytime I had to requal, we only had to requal one. So, I don't understand why at the island we had to go through all these different quals, but whenever you requal, all you had to do was the basic tread water.
There was the... I remember the tread and water thing. They showed us different techniques.
We're talking about swim qual, by the way.
Because every Marine has to swim.
Yeah.
Just like every Marine has to shoot a rifle. But, now the CWS-4, which, basic, that's where you did the water treading, and then you start going up in the levels, and then you start doing different things where you got to jump in fully clothed, and...
Yeah.
All your pack, Kevlar, rifle, all that.
You learn how you water seal all that stuff, so you're able to go into the water with it, but then you actually swim with the water sealed gear.
Yeah, and it becomes basically like a float of sorts.
Yeah.
And then you start learning different techniques like buddy dragging through the water, whatnot. Well, I don't like talking about swim qual because it did not go well for me.
It doesn't go well for anybody, man.
Well, especially when you have limited use of an ankle.
Well, you know what? Now the fact that him calling it a shark attack makes you feel a little bit better because it affected you in the water.
Yes, it did. Yep. And that started a shitstorm of sorts.
Okay.
When I didn't make swim qual.
Well, yeah, I mean all the MOS not qualifying for it and everything else going downhill from there and forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know that, check out our first couple episodes, Wounds of War. I think it's the fourth. No, let's see, probably the fourth and fifth or fifth and sixth episode we did was sitting down and getting your career all lined out and figuring out the fun that is being a reservist on active duty, and then all of a sudden. Not qualifying for your job because of a swim qual rating in boot camp.
Yep. Thankfully, Motor T had a lower swim qual rate.
Yeah.
Because I never did regain full use of full range of motion in that ankle. So.
And did you ever have to re-qualify? Like just go and tread water to get swim qual?
We did swim qual every year.
Okay.
I can't remember where we never did the same location twice.
Okay.
Like sometimes we'd go to Alabama to the Coast Guard base and do it there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good field trip.
That was kind of weird. But one year we went to the UNO Aquatic Center.
That's cool.
Well, it would have been, but since I was in an amphib unit, we had to do the abandoned ship drills. And the high dive was broken. We couldn't use it because the ladder was screwed up, so they wouldn't let us go up. So we had to do this little platform that's like maybe a foot off the water, which was whatever. It wasn't fun at all. And, funny story about that is I actually had a cramp in my right leg that one time. We did it when we did it at the UNO Center. And you're not supposed to touch the wall, but I did.
Yeah.
I intentionally sank my body down into the water to where I basically wasn't doing full lung inflation to hold myself up. I let my body sink down, and I was kind of in my leg was in a shadow, and I had the tip of my foot on the wall, resting to hold me up, because my leg was cramping so bad the lifeguard had to throw the little float thing to me. I couldn't keep myself up. Yeah. It was cramping so damn bad. But we did the tread. I think we had the abandoned ship. Then we had the go do a down and back, then you tread water
for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes of treading water. Makes it feel like 5 minutes is 30 minutes. Man.
Oh, yeah. It's the longest 5 minutes of your life.
Yeah. They tell you all your little techniques with your camis to make the little bullshit here and the bullshit there and everything else. And I mean, they work, but oh man.
The technique I used for treading water is I would sink down into the water, and then I would just power up. I'd kick hard with my legs and shoot up out of the water. And as soon as my head breaks the surface, I would do a full lung inflation, then come down and just lean back. And I would just lean back and very slowly kick my legs to keep my place in the water.
Yeah,
and it worked. It worked for me. Other guys did it differently, but
buoyancy of different people is effective for different people.
Oh yeah, they didn't care how you treaded water as long as you did.
Yeah, as long as you figured out how to do it.
Yeah, don't be the one to try to be Billy Badass and stay completely vertical and just kick your legs. You're not going to last long doing that.
No.
You'd last maybe 45 seconds.
Right. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But no, I think the start of third phase was BWT? Or was that middle of third phase? I can't remember.
I don't know, man. So third phase, we were wrapping up all of our trainings.
I know.
So we had our final drill. We had our final week of dental. We had our final. I
can't remember where. I know BWT was third phase.
Yeah.
I remember that much because you did the.
I mean, I had my teams week the week after the Crucible.
You did the. Well, I know when I went through the Crucible. Once you did the Crucible. That whole when we did it, that whole last week was gear turn in, practicing for the battalion commander's inspection, final drill, basically getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
But BWT was another culture shock.
Well, I guess let's jump into BWT before we jump into the Crucible.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because BWT was basically the precursor to the Crucible.
Yeah.
You in my opinion, you kind of got a taste of what the Crucible was going to be like, to a point.
Yeah.
With the gas, that's where you did the gas chamber for the first time, the rappel tower, which was awesome. Loved it.
Yeah.
Got over my fear of heights by doing the rappel tower, and
I still respect them, but I don't fear them anymore.
Oh, same here.
It's like water. I respect it, but I don't fear it no more.
Exactly. The rappel tower, it was 47 feet?
46, 47, something like that.
And it was four-sided. You had 2 helo skids and 2 walls.
Yeah.
And one of the walls had USMC painted on it in big-ass letters. And my favorite one, though, was the helo skid. And I did that one first.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, never been that high off the ground before. I grew up in the backwoods of southern Louisiana. Never been off the ground more than
high as your tree stand will take you, because you don't want to have to go any higher. Yeah,
exactly. And
come on, Toodles, calm down.
Went through the process of tying your rappel seat, and which that in itself was an experience. Slightly painful to a point. Get up there, and they hook you onto the rope, and they tell you step out on the skid, and then where it really started messing with you is when they told you to lean back.
Yeah.
You got your one hand. I can't remember if it was left hand brake, right hand on the rope, or if it was the other way around. I can't remember, or if they just let you do it.
I want to say they said do whatever feels comfortable, but they recommended you to use your primary hand as your brake.
Yeah, I can't remember, honestly.
Pretty sure,
but they obviously they demonstrated it beforehand. I just remember leaning back, and I'm sitting there holding myself with the brake, and they're telling you to move around a little bit. Like,
yeah, teaching you to trust it a little bit.
yeah. And then they tell you, you know, do you remember if they did a countdown before you jumped?
I don't remember.
I can't remember if they just told you to jump or if they did a countdown, but jump and you shoot that brake arm straight out and you just hold it. And, you know, you're having to fight that fight or flight instinct
of wanting to break yourself.
Yeah,
but
you got to let it happen. And then they tell you, you know, right before you hit the ground, lock
break
it up.
Yeah.
And I remember jumping. I'm like, here we go. And I just pushed. I didn't even think about it. In fact, I think I actually closed my eyes when I pushed off. And I shot my arm out, and I'm looking down, and then I hit the brakes when they told me to hit the brakes, and then my feet touched the ground, and I just looked back up. I very quickly looked back up to the tower. I'm like, damn, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Holy shit!
Like,
Look
I
at
just
that.
did that. So immediately unhook, go right back up.
Yep.
To get in the other line you didn't do, which was the wall. I did the helo skid first and went back to the wall, and it was not as exciting as the helo skid.
Nah, the wall was fucking boring in comparison to the helo skid.
Well,
but
it was boring for us, but there was this one kid, he freaked out, and he ended up going down the wall upside down and backwards.
there's always one who just
Like you see in the movies where, like, I'm trying to think of, I think it might be the Mission Impossible movies where some of the MI6 guys are coming down upside down. Like, this dude was doing his impersonation of that.
yeah.
And he was freaking out you could hear him screaming like a little girl the whole way down. Like, wow. But you weren't done, though. If you remember, you go down, you do the second trip down, then you have to go back up a third time, but you go up halfway, and that's when you get to fast rope. Honestly, I thought jumping off the helo skid was fun until I hit the fast rope. I would love to fast rope again.
Really?
Oh, yeah. But do it real deal.
You've never had the fast rope real deal?
No, never got to. I would love to, though.
So that's some of the cool stuff that you did, and you get to see people doing, and you train going on the LHAs and LHDs. You train for the fast rope and real deal, and different people get to actually do the fast rope real deal.
Now, how high,
cool.
in real world scenarios, how high up were they fast roping from?
Hovering 10, 20 feet up off the deck.
I was just wondering what, like, if there was, because I think it was 30 foot.
It was 30 foot on that. It was 30 foot at the island. Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. And you learned how to.
I mean, real deal scenario, you're trying to not be as high up as you can. Like, you're trying to be as close to the ground to eliminate, as most as possible, but you're also trying not to set the helo down so you don't have to pick it back up.
For the people that don't know what the fast rope is, it's exactly what it says. You're not. It's kind of like rappelling but different in the fact that you're not tied off.
Yeah.
So it shares similarities with rappelling, but it's more of a rapid insertion type deal where you're not keeping the helos on station any longer than you have to prevent them from being shot down.
Exactly.
That's going to open up a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah. So you'd see some of the grunts practicing it on the ships every now and again out the back of like the 46s, which would be pretty cool. I
don't think those are even around anymore.
The 46s and I think the 46s are eliminated now, and they only have the 53s. Yeah.
The 53s, and then somehow the Ospreys are still around. I'm surprised those even made it.
Well, the amazing thing about the Osprey is what it actually did for the Marine Corps and the fucking military as a total whenever they actually deployed them in Iraq and Afghanistan. I think because of the way they eliminated and cut down. So it allowed us to medevac people out a lot faster because it has a greater top speed than any normal helicopter does. Mm-hmm. So it can do the vertical landing, and it can get troops out, so it can do medevacs at a rate that improves the success rate of the medevac of itself. Right? So I think even if they turn them into ambulances, basically, of a war zone to where you can get them in, you can provide the stuff you've got to for a medevac service. I think that's what the forever of the Osprey project will end up being. If I look into a forward use of it. I mean, I understand it's not ideal in every war zone in every scenario, but when you're talking about Iraq and Afghanistan and these wide open deserts and mountains, it's about a perfect design for what they were thinking.
It definitely had its purpose in life, and it was a pretty interesting aircraft to see up close and personal.
The Marine Corps is really good at having a specific aircraft do a specific thing and making sure it's extremely effective at doing that thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I will say the Osprey is not as big as it looks.
No.
It's actually pretty damn small.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bigger than a 53, though. It's got a little more cargo room than a 53 does.
We did some
It
training.
doesn't have anywhere near the power of a 53, though.
We did some training with them in Iraq.
Okay.
But when I was at MOS school, we were right down we weren't far from Beaufort, so we saw them flying all the damn time. Mm-hmm. And I actually had one.
Well, I mean, they were stationed right there in New River too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we would see them all the time, all hours of the day and night.
Yeah, when I was in PMO, I had to go down to New River to work an air show to show off the Osprey.
Now, I want to say it was probably about a year ago. I was at work one day, and I work not far from the Baton Rouge airport, so I hear planes and choppers all day long. And, like I tell people, every helicopter type aircraft, it has its own distinct rotor wash sound. And I can tell if it's a Black Hawk or a Huey or one of the other various choppers, but I was standing there and I hear a rotor wash that I'm like, what the hell is that? Like I'm trying to jog my memory banks of all the rotor aircraft.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not jogging any memory banks. And me and my buddy look up at the same time, and I said, holy shit. It was an Osprey. I'm like, dude, I have not seen one of those in forever. I'm like, I was a little surprised to see one down here.
One of the biggest problems whenever I took out the Mew in 2009 with the Ospreys was the fact that because they were being used in country and we were trying to stand up the Osprey, there just wasn't enough parts and supply system to supply the fact of them being attached to a Mew, because the parts had first priority to go into Iraq and go into Afghanistan. So you've got this aircraft that, the first time they put it in combat was 06, 07, 08. In 09, it's only been in combat for, 3-4 years at this point. You don't have a supply system. You're trying to stand up new squadrons of the stuff to stand down the 46 squadrons and stand up the Osprey squadrons, right? And in the process of doing that, you don't have a supply system enough to fix the ones that you've got in zones, so you're prioritizing the parts to go to war zones.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. I mean, It's awesome, but
anyhow, back to BWT. You did the rappel tower, which that was pretty much an all-day experience because I think it was a few hours of learning how to tie your rappel seat.
We learned in the morning and did everything that afternoon. Yep. And of course we got the box lunches so that, here's a fucking sandwich so we can say we fed you. Let's go knock out this training.
Yeah, and for the record, the food was just good enough for them to say they fed you. Nothing more, nothing less.
I don't think it was good enough to say they fed you. I don't even think it had enough nutrition to make it to the day. I think we all lost weight that day.
Yeah, and when I say good enough, as in it was good enough it could be considered food.
Yeah.
They never said anything about it being edible.
No.
It was the way they figure, if you're hungry enough, you're gonna eat it.
That's it.
But I think the real pain in the ass part of BWT was the gas chamber.
Because there was nothing that was going to prepare you for the way your body was going to react to it. There was nothing, no matter how well you trained or how strong your lungs were, that were going to actually prepare you for the way your body was going to react to that CS, man.
yeah, that going in there, it was like, whoa. Like you honestly didn't know what to do. And, you know, you go in there and, you know, they start barking orders left and right. And if you're not moving fast enough with some of the exercises, some people may or may not get a gut check to where you suck in a big lung full of CS, which thankfully we got lucky. Our battalion commander was in there that day, so they couldn't mess with us. But, you know, it's just basically teaching you how to react to a gas attack.
Yeah.
You know, it's more or less drills of being able to quickly and efficiently
identify the fact that you're under attack and what you need to do to resolve the situation.
And how to properly don and clear your mask and everything, and then what to do.
Tell you what, it definitely built some confidence in what that mask does. I had a bunch of confidence in that mask. I could not wait till they told me I could don and clear it every last time, over and over again. Like,
oh yeah, you can actually breathe. But it was all the exercises where you would take the mask off, put it back on, or do the 2 fingers. I've heard some guys having to sing Marine Corps hymn while they were in there, and we didn't have to do anything like that.
No,
anything crazy, like I said, because
all the crazy stuff in the gas chamber happened post recruit training. Recruit training, the gas chamber was extremely basic as far as, you know, I mean, not saying that it was a simple process.
Oh, absolutely not.
I mean, it was simply breaking the seal, doing some exercises, putting it back, breaking the seal, doing some exercises, putting it back, breaking the seal, and count off around the room. You know, just routine things that you've done so many times that it's second nature to do them, but you're doing them under the duress of the CS gas, and then you're donning and clearing your mask every time.
And somebody asked me one time, what does CS feel like? I'm like, it kind of makes it hard to breathe to a point. For the most part, it feels like a bad sunburn. It really wasn't too bad for me.
No, you ever got sprayed with OC spray?
No, but I hear that's, if you think CS was bad.
To be able to carry it in PMO, you had to get sprayed with it and run an obstacle course.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine that was an MP, and he told me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that was fun.
Yeah.
Do you know if the MPs had to do the taser ride?
I've got no idea. If so, I didn't. I never did one.
I never asked him about it, but he said, gas chamber wasn't too bad. He said, after doing OC spray, he said the gas chamber felt like a morning walk.
Yeah. Yeah. No, OC spray
sucks.
Sucks.
He said there is nothing you can do to stop it. You just got to ride it out. And he said it's not a quick process either. He said, you know, because with the gas chamber, CS gas, I noticed you take a cold shower. You know, you take a normal shower, but you use cold water, and you're good.
Yep.
But he said OC,
water reactivates OC. So you got to use baby oil or baby shampoo, like the No Tears baby shampoo when you take a shower. It's going to reactivate when you take a shower. But you use the baby shampoo and the oils in the shampoo, get the oils of the OC
neutralized
off of
you.
it. Yeah.
Now, did you have to do a cold shower, or did it matter?
No, it didn't matter. You just needed to be able to. I was told this, so I lubed up with the baby shampoo before I ever jumped in the shower, and then I rinsed off the baby shampoo, and it all fucking came off. But I mean, it was so bad when I come home and kissed the fucking wife. She had OC on her lips, and she was going fucking crazy and trying to drink milk and everything else to stop the burn. So I mean, it is not a pleasant experience. And whenever the staff sergeant at PMO was the one who was dosing everybody, and I mean,
probably overdoing it.
We had such a cyclic rate. We'd run the obstacle course for OC. You only had to get sprayed once, but like you'd hold the pads from to do the different drills running the obstacle course around in this open field, and he'd spray a big T, so he'd spray across your eyebrows and back across your eyebrows and back and up and down your nose with a can of OC. And then you'd run an obstacle course where they're like, okay, the one thing you want to do is try and blink your eyes the whole time. Of course, I'm running it. It's winter time, so like I've got no moisture. Everything's all dry in North Carolina. Attempting to run this shit in the winter, and they've got a fire truck out there hooked up to some hoses so you can actually get some running water. And it's like, so you go over there with the water and it reactivates on you trying to wash your face. It's miserable.
Yeah, he did say that was when he went to MP school. He said the OC spray was probably the worst part.
Yeah,
he said you think doing the gas chamber was bad. He said you haven't seen anything yet until the OC spray comes out.
Because before the gas chamber, like I've had to puke before. I've had to do things before, and my body, I was not in control of what my body's reaction to it was going to be until coming into reaction with CS. Like I could kind of tell what my reaction was going to be. I could kind of prepare myself. There's no preparing yourself for your body all of a sudden thinking, I can't breathe, what's going on, and all these other thoughts that are going through your head and everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really when your fight or flight
kicks in.
To kick in. But you've got to suppress it to finish the training.
Yeah.
And naturally, when you're in that classroom portion, before you actually go into the live fire portion of the chamber, they're hamming it up, making it out to be worse than what it really is. But, still, you're kind of freaked out. They're not going to let anything happen to you, but you're still scared shitless at first.
Yeah.
But then when you walk out, as soon as you realize, hey, I'm still alive.
Well, they're not going to let anything happen to you, but these are the same guys that are literally, it seems like they pick 4 people every night and they're trying to kill them. So once again, I know you're not going to let anything bad happen, but my trust value in you may not be so good,
Oh, yeah. Now, the weird thing that I noticed about CS gas is it works wonders for nasal congestion.
Oh, does it ever? All that recruit crud comes right on out.
Oh, yeah. When I walked out, they're telling you to flap your arms like a duck and all this and that. And I looked, and you're having to look down so you can see where you're walking. And I just so happened to look all the way down, and I'm like, everything that was in my nasal passages is shit. Now it's all over the front of my shirt.
Yeah.
But I could whistle Dixie with my nose.
Right.
Like I could perfectly breathe. And I catch myself even nowadays, like during the wintertime where I get a lot of nasal congestion and whatnot, because my allergies act up all the time in the winter. I'm like, man, what I wouldn't give to go through the gas chamber right now.
Right. Just go ahead and purge everything out real quick.
And people look at me like, what the hell's wrong with you?
What the hell's wrong with me? Fuck. I tell you what, I would gladly give 30 seconds of misery for
to be able to breathe.
For a sinus relief. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm like, you just don't understand. Like most medications take forever to work. CS is instant.
Yeah. Hey, maybe that's our $1 million idea right there, man.
A nasal spray based off of CS gas.
No, not even that. The fact of getting some NBC experts and you come and you can get treatment for your congestion. You come there and you get treated for your congestion. So you have the medical stuff on standby. You can give them an IV afterwards, so the recovery's quick and fast and everything else. You know what I mean? You have a little shower trailer from the shower in. They go in a little gas chamber, and if whatever level of experience they want, if they want to do some training with a gas mask, sure. If they just want to walk through the chamber and clean out their congestion, hey man, walk through till you're clean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you paid to pop the capsule. Enjoy your capsule.
Yeah, exactly. But as time went on, though, I started to realize the gas chamber wasn't that bad. It was actually quite fun once I got to my unit.
Yeah.
But that's another story for another day.
That's everything, man. That's everything.
But
All right. So any words of wisdom, because we'll jump into the crucible on the next one because we're at 30 minutes.
Stand by. You're not going to want to miss this one because this is where the real fun starts.
Yeah. So iron sharpens iron. Go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube so we can go ahead and do one of them lives for everybody because that'll be fun.
Yes, it will be.
Ethos of Silence.
A veteran podcast aims to amplify the voices of veterans, creating a safe space for authentic conversations about their experiences, challenges, and triumphs. We seek to break the stigma surrounding mental health and foster community support, resilience, and understanding. Through storytelling, expert insights, and candid discussions, we strive to inspire healing, promote awareness, and empower veterans on their journeys.
Welcome